Today's video we are going to show you how to make cottage cheese oatmeal patties or oatmeal cottage cheese patty, however you want to do it. Those are the two main ingredients with onions and all sorts of the flavor of sage. And stay tuned because you're going to be loving this recipe, and we'll be right back. Let's get started and make our oatmeal patties that are gluten-free. The first thing we want to do is put in a whole container of small curd cottage cheese. Now if you prefer the large, I find that the large is a little too much, but you put that in, and let me get a, here we go. That all out of there. That's the first thing. Now the second thing we're going to put in is, now I don't use eggs, I use flax seeds, and I've got that right here. Make sure you're still in, yep, you're still seeing. And this is flaxseed eggs, and I've been having it sit over there for a few minutes while I got all the other ingredients together. And I put that in. It's 2 eggs. For you, if you don't, you can use eggs, but this is 2 tablespoons of flaxseed to 2 to 3 tablespoons of water per each, so that'd be 6 tablespoons of, let me get this going too. Yeah, you think I'd be all prepared. Oh well. Put that all in there. So that's the flax eggs. You can do chia if you want, or just put the eggs in, a couple of eggs. Okay, so that goes in. I'm trying to do all the wet, creamy stuff. And, okay, so next thing I'm going to put in is a teaspoon of sage. Now, if you want more sage, you can put that in, but I find that's enough. I have complaints, but I go, wow, I got so much sage in here. So I'd rather err on the, but 1 teaspoon I think is plenty for this. Next thing I'm going to put in is medium-sized onions that I have finely chopped. And again, if you want more, put in more. If you put in less, put in less. And that goes in. And get that all mixed in. And then the last thing, the next thing I should say we put in, now I don't add salt because the cottage cheese is plenty salty enough. So there's no salt going in. Just the sage is our really only spice that we're putting in, herbs. Okay, so the next thing is I put in a cup, oh you see my, isn't that cool? A cup of pecans. Okay, now this is my family's favorite. My father says, you know, you can't have enough nuts. But this is I think the original recipe that I saw probably 40, 50 years ago. Yeah, I'm old. Had only 1/4 of a cup. I mean, really, people, we love the nuts. And my dad, I like the chopped nuts because with these patties, you're going to fry up. They're not going to stick out. But my dad would even like bigger pieces. But I found that it didn't stay in. They fell out of the patty. So, okay, so the last thing we're going to put in there is 4 cups of gluten-free old-fashioned, not instant, but old-fashioned, and I'm using Bob Red's Mill, and you probably find that in your grocery store, and for that. Now, it's going to be dry, because after we fold all this in, we're going to let it set. I put the cover on. Isn't this an old Tupperware thing? I still have it. I love it. And I still have the top. That's surprising. A lot of people lose the tops, or a lot of things happens to their Tupperware. And maybe a Rubbermaid. You got a lot of people making stuff like that. And I think Tupperware not only made good products, but it was also a way for ladies to make a living, to go around and give Tupperware parties. I'm sure you've heard of that. I'm not sure that they even do that anymore. But I haven't looked up to see if Tupperware is even... Okay, so it's all in there, but they're even a company yet. Still making stuff, I don't know. Okay, so here is what it looks like. It's all folded in. And now we're going to put the top on, and we're going to let it rest for about a half hour so the oatmeal absorbs all of this liquid, or however you want to say, that's in the cottage cheese. And this is oatmeal cottage cheese patties. Our family's favorite, generations here. And this is for my nieces and nephews that don't know how to make it, what the portions are, but they love to eat it. Oh, I'm making a mess. Okay, so this is it, and we'll be back when the time has rested and show you how I fry them up and how we work on them. I'll be right back. Here we are, half hour later, and I've gone ahead and made some of these patties up. What I do is I take a scoop, you probably can't see this. I take a scoop and I mash it in there, and then when I pull it out, it's in my hand. Then I just take my hand and keep pressing it together, because it's going to be real important for it not to fall apart. And what you want to do in your pan is really to fry these low and slow, because you need for the cottage cheese. Now, to make it really crispy, I put some gluten-free flour in a pie pan like this. As you see, I've done one. And then I just kind of dip it in there, and it also makes it very crispy in order... and they take probably 3 to 4 minutes on a side, on low, as I said, low and slow. And so while I'm waiting for this batch, I'll make a whole bunch and fill this up. Looks like I need to put more flour in here. But, you know, these onions, they fall out anyway. What are you going to do? I try to get it as thin as I can, sliced and chopped and finely, but they come out. So don't be surprised about that. So we'll be back, and I'll show you when I take these out what it looks like. Here are patties. I just wanted to show you how great they look up close. They're really tasty. Now, what you put on them, my family is all over the board, so I'm just letting you know that I've got one, my cousin, who likes to put in Catalina or ketchup. My husband likes tzatziki sauce, and I like the tzatziki sauce as well. And I do have a video about that, and I will click on that. And the other thing is whatever you want to put on there. It's totally up to you what your tastes are. Sometimes I put in the cranberry jelly. I know, that's so silly. But anyway, that's what it is, and I'm telling you, they are so good. Look at that. And they're moist and yummy. They're just yummy with the cottage cheese. So it is vegetarian. It's not vegan, it's vegetarian, because we do use the dairy in the cottage cheese. But other than that, there's no egg. It's gluten-free, and just hope you love this recipe like my whole family does. And I'm putting this out here for my nieces and nephews so they can have this recipe, because they love it and they can make it their own. And I want you to make it your own and for your family. I have a recipe for you that's on Living Life with a Twist on Facebook, and I'll put the recipe there. And we're still working on our website, and hopefully to put over there. And you know, I'm an old woman, I got to learn new things, so old dog learning tricks, you know, new tricks. So anyway, please subscribe. We're not fancy here, but we're putting out good content and hope you appreciate it. And if you would like and subscribe, we appreciate it. And thank you for supporting our channel, and everything is down below where we get stuff and what we're using in this recipe. So love you all, Twisters, and we'll see you in the next video.